Rolling?
I'm rolling.
Okay. Hi guys, this is Vincent Colliard, and I'm happy to share with you today how to pitch the tent on a winter trip. So I have the tent here, usually on the top of the sled. Since most of the time I like traveling on skis with a sled, a pulka. So the tent lays on the top because it will be the first thing that by the end of the day I would have to put up. And what I like doing is I tie, these straps on top of the tent very easily, so I am able to quickly release, even if I'm using gloves or mittens. So basically, easy system. You just pull here, pull there, pull here, and then it's free. So what is, to me in the winter trips, what is very important is to have all your setup as simple as possible. Because when you're working with gloves or mittens, if it's organized easy, and then your life will be, you will enjoy. So that's an important key point. Okay? So for the moment, before we organize the tent, we're gonna put on our skis and build a little platform. Okay, we do it this way because the wind is coming from there, and so we want to be, let's say, the tent or the way we sleep parallel to the wind. So that is going to be the tent position. We'll take the snow up there, and we'll put here on the down part to make it to level the platform. If I take off my skis right now, I will make like big holes in the ground, and then when you're inside the tent, we will have to fill all these holes. So not very comfortable for sleeping. So that's why I'm trying to keep the skis as much as possible. Okay, and now the idea is to place these skis ready, so when we deploy the tent we can use them as, pegs, snow pegs, anchors, and it's very important to have them upwind. The points, the anchors upwind are the most important. So yeah, you can take them. What you can also do is that you take the sled. If it's really windy, you put your sled right there. And if you want, you can even dig a hole under the sled. Today it's okay, but when it's really windy, you can have the sled here if you need to attach it to the tent. So what I usually use is a tent bag. It's very, very practical, because when you have it on top of the sled, if you don't pack it perfectly, which sometimes you don't when the weather is bad, all the guy lines goes all over, and then the guy's lines goes under the sled. It slows down, it can also break them. So when you have this roomy bag, it's very easy, in the morning and in the evening, to have it inside out. Okay, so what you can do is, this is the side upwind, so it's really easy to recognize. So it's good to attach a piece of fabric, a piece of rope with good color, so you know where is the upwind side of the tent. Okay, this is clear. This is not very clear. This is clear now. And yeah, this looks good.
You always put the snow pegs inside the ventilation?
Yeah, that's a good safe room in here to put, the snow pegs. Like this, you don't have to look in the sled. Where's your snow pegs? Where are your snow pegs? So snow pegs, very practical to use with the snow. You get either on 30 centimeters, that's what I mostly use, and also you get in 50 centimeters, which can be also very practical when the snow is very soft, like now. What you can do is right here, there's a hole, right? And you put a piece of fabric, same as in the tent on the upwind side. You put a piece of fabric here, because when you put them in the ground, you got that? When you put them in the ground all the way, and suddenly you don't know where your pegs is anymore. And if there's a piece of fabric in here, then it's easy to recognize in the morning when you need to pack it up. Okay. And now we do the opposite, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we start with the number 4. Okay, and then we go all the way. The glove goes all the way here on the top, right there. And then you grab the black strap and you just put it like this. Very quick and easy. And sometimes what you can do when you have the bigger gloves, you can have it here and then have it here on the ground, and then you can take the time to have it good in your hand, and then you can place it smoothly. Okay, that's a question about, do you guys tighten this first, or do you tighten and then you tighten here the black strap? This, if you need to release, you pull on the red one and it releases the tension. Black one, tension rises. Okay, and then you know one is ready, and what you can ask your expedition partner is to come here and put a knee right here. Can you do that, Halvard? I think it's important when we're 2 person. Okay, so you have your friend that comes here and step on it. Okay, perfect. When it's really windy conditions. Okay. And then we do the same procedure. In here, black strap, and we pull it. Yes, and your friend, exactly, your friend put the knee on. Like this, we're in control if it's really windy. Next step, come here. We collect all the poles, okay? You remember this guy? That's the upwind side. So it means that this side is gonna go right there where the skis are. We take it, we go up, and then we immediately turn to have it like this. So the wind is blowing, but it's easy to hold. Okay? And what you can also do, if it's really windy, you take it, a little detail, and you attach it to your harness, for example, so you don't lose it. And then we're good to go. Remember to keep your tent in the ground. And you have this already in your hand. Okay? This is where you will put this is your anchor. So okay, you put it down here all the way, right? You can step on it, like here. Step on the knee, step on the tent. Like this, you're in control. If it's blowing hard, you can just proceed slowly. Take one over the skis. And this is very important. If you're using steel edges, please make sure the steel edges are not, cutting neither the black strap near the tent fabric. If they are like this, they will cut. And if you turn them all the way, and then it's okay. And it's always good with your ski to give a little bit of an angle. So you don't put it like this, but you put it this way. Okay? Okay? One. And then you go on the other side. Same procedure. In here. Okay. Now you can make sure it's good, solid enough. It's deep enough. Okay? And then what you can do is you deploy the tent, and it's good to stay on the side, because right now otherwise I will do lots of holes in the platform, So I try to stay as much as possible on the side of the tent. When you're on the other side of the tent and you know that the upwind side is secured, you can go on the other side and you can lift it up so it's good and nice tension, and then you go all the way down. And from there, same procedure than with the skis. So when the tent is up like this now, what's important is we don't worry about the downwind side. We have to go back again to the upwind and put more anchors on the other side as soon as the tent is up. All right? Okay, there are many different options to tie the guy lines. You can use snow pegs, skis, poles. You can even, for example, take a sled and dig a small hole and have it inside. Okay, and then you can just improvise. Let's put the guy line through here, for example, and let's do a knot here. One more thing that is important with the guy lines is when you set all the guy lines around the tent, don't put too much pressure at first. Just tighten a little bit, and when all the guy lines are put together, and then you can adjust the tension. Why is that? So definitely when you do, if you, for example, put tension here right now, the shape of the tent won't be as perfect. And if you do all the guidelines in one time, putting tension at the end, it will take the whole tent very nice and smooth surface. These ones are crucial. So the wind is coming from there. This is 0 degrees. This is 90, we agree? And you go there 45. That's where you should have this one. Same procedure, not so much tension. And when you put the peg inside, not vertical, but just a little bit of angle, and then it goes inside. If you don't have enough material, if you don't have any pole, skis, snow pegs, shovel left, what you can do is you take the 3 together. 1, 2, and this one. That's an option. But please remember that the most important one is this one, because this one works on the pole and this one works on fabric. So what you can do when it's very windy, the wind is coming from there, you can take this together with this one, for example, and you can put them a little bit forward. Another small detail, we agree that this one pulls on the pole and this one only pull on fabric. So this one shouldn't be too tight, because if it's too tight, you see what happens? The outer fabric is going to touch the inner fabric, and if it's a warm day and it starts to rain, it will make a lot of moisture inside. So rather have this not too much tension, so both fabric doesn't touch each other. So these are snow flaps, extra fabric that is put on the side of the tent, all around the tent. What it does, it gives a strong and extra protection. It gives a strong connection with the ground. So what you need to do, this is a very important part, because imagine when the wind is going under here, it's blowing the tent like this. You don't want this, right? You want to have it perfect, and this really helps to get the tent solid in the ground. So sometimes it's like that, so you can just pull it here, and what you can do if you're alone, or if your friend or expedition partner is doing something else on the tent, you can step on it. So you see it's a nice tension here, and then you can take some snow and put it on the top. Okay, same here, just pull it, step on it. Oh, and you see now it's becoming nicer and nicer compared to the other side. You see there? Not so nice. Now it's the shape is better. Another thing that is important that I want to share with you, on the shovels, usually this part is very sharp. So in the morning when you need to take the snow away from the flaps, please do not use the shovel, because otherwise you're going to damage the fabric. So in the morning, just go like this and walk on it. So it will break the snow if the snow became hard during the night, and try to do everything with your soft ski boots better. And then you can check it, but not doing this. This is not good. Okay, that's good for snow flaps. And one more little trick that I'm happy to share with you is right here. You can take a ski, take both of them, put them here, and please remember not to put the steel edges this way, otherwise it's going to cut the guy lines. So if you turn your ski like this, ski with a little bit of angle, and then you can put it down. And afterwards you can adjust here the guy lines. Another, you see that now it's hard surface right under. So what else can we do? Because that's not going to hold. What else can we do is this. Take the shovel, right? You make a little hole for the ski. You take your guy line. 1, 2. Same procedure. You put them here, for example. And here's a little trick I can show you. You open the binding. You put it inside here. Oops. Right here. You close the binding, right? You put your skis here. And then you cover the whole thing with snow. Okay, and then you can adjust the guidelines. Another option is to use the ski poles as anchors. So here is how you can do it. 45 degrees. Then you can do a mark here with your pole. All right, and then here you dig down. Why do you dig? Because if you put your poles like this too many times, not good for the pole. It will weaken the pole. So rather use a shovel, which is made for, to dig down. And do you see now when I dig with the shovel here, it's a little bit of an angle. You agree? Right here. And that's gonna be the angle. And then we just fill the hole with snow. And then you can adjust. So we are in control now with our tent. This is so pretty much what you want to have with the tent. How can you see whether or not the tent is correctly pitched? As you can see here, most of the tents, the fabric, the shape of the tent, the fabric is under tension. And you, for example, here, you see there's no, it's straight, flat and under tension. That's what you want to have. And I'm going to repeat this. If you have this guy line too much under tension, then it's going to touch, you see? Both fabric, the outer layer is going to touch the inner layer. You don't want this. So you want that guy line, not too much tension. So you see the line on the top of the tent is just straightforward. So we have put a good amount of snow on the snow flaps. We have adjusted and gave tension on all the guy lines, and now we can say that we are under control and it's time to go inside. And why is this so, everything that I'm sharing with you is so important is because, for example, now the weather is quite okay, but maybe during the night it can be a gale, can be a storm, it can be a lot of wind and a lot of snow. When the snow is going to fall on the tent, it can accumulate. So if there's no good enough tension through all the fabric, then the weight of the snow, is going to sink, and then the fabric will start to loosen, which is not good, because on top of this, if there's some wind, and then it will get worse and worse. So you don't want, when you're inside the tent enjoying the sleeping bag, to have to go out and do some work. You better do it once, good, and then you can enjoy the storm. So the entrance, why is the entrance here? The entrance is downwind, because as we said, the wind is coming that direction. So we rather, instead of being upwind and having to struggle, we are going downwind. Because when we open here, when we open the door, wind is coming from there. Wind is coming from there. So then it's no problem to work here and be comfortable and cook and have equipment inside. And yeah, it's also even better when you want to do some repairs to be downwind and leave the upwind closed. So what we can do when we are inside here is to open the ventilation. So it's very important to have a good air circulation inside the tent when you're, for instance, when you're cooking and creating some moisture. It's good that the air circulates inside the tent. So it's like, I would say, I don't know, it's like a human body. The tent has to breathe. Okay, If I have the energy by the end of the day, I like to dig a small hole here, so you know I can just take off my jackets and organize myself, take off my shoes, and it's more comfortable sitting like this to me instead of being like that for my lower back. And then I just do a little area here because you want to keep, for instance, this area here or there for cooking. Okay, so now we're under control. We trust the work we just did, and we feel safe inside the tent. I have a little story I want to share with you. It's one time we were with Børge in Alaska, and we're crossing an ice cap called Wrangell St. Elias, and we're basically like this. And Børge was sitting here. He was in charge of cooking, and I was sitting here. And I didn't manage. I didn't close the door all the way down. I have to show you this because it's important. Not all the way down here. I left about, I would say, 10 centimeters open. When you close it, it has to be really all the way, right? And then you can pull a little bit of the fabric inside and put some snow on top of it. Just the same principle as right here. And I remember I didn't close it all the way. It was maybe a hole like this, 10 centimeters. The wind turned during the night. I had my shoes here. The next morning we woke up, it was like a pile of snow on top of my shoes. Just because of that, small mistake. So you never know. The wind is coming from there right now, but maybe tomorrow morning in a few hours it may be coming this way. So try to make sure that when you close the tent, it's zipped all the way, so you don't wake up in the morning and have shoes filled up with snow. It's not very comfortable. Okay, well, good talking to you guys. Now it's time for me to enjoy a little bit of the warmth of my sleeping bag. Is that clear, or am I too much blah blah blah?
No, I think it's very good.
Okay, what do you think, Peter?
Yeah, it's good.
It's clear?
Yeah.
Okay, I will redo the simple things because I as much fun. One more time.